up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sister Girl on Films, and we are back with season 2 of Fatal Seduction. This season so far has been really good. I feel like they did a great job of just like growing the story, and none of it feels convoluted, and it feels like a really great continuation of all of the drama and chaos of season 1. So I'm excited for these last few episodes. Now, I did tell y'all we were going to do 3 parts, where part 3 was going to be episodes 7, 8, 9, and 10. But after watching episode 7 and 8, I was like, too many notes. I'm not going to put that on myself to kind of recap 4 episodes all in one video. That's crazy. So we're going to have 4 parts. Sorry, y'all. So today we will be recapping episodes 7 and 8, which were juicy. So I'm not going to prolong this, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into episode 7, The Boy Next Door. Episode 7 starts with Leonard coming from having murdered the reporter, and he goes to see the minister. He brings the minister the manuscript that he found, and so the minister was like, I thought you had amnesia. And so we get a flashback to Leonard coming out of his coma and talking to the doctor. The doctor reads him his results, and the doctor is like, hey, you know, everything looks good. Everything is checking out. You know, the little bit of amnesia that you have, it seems like it's kind of worked itself out. It was very temporary. So like everything is good. And so we see that Leonard ultimately has bribed the doctor to keep this lie going that he has amnesia. So what you're telling me is that Leonard is worse than before.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
He is worse than before. And so the minister basically says to Leonard, it's good to have you back. You and I are going to do beautiful things together. Trash. Leonard has been trash this whole time. And I appreciate the writers this season not trying to make him be the victim or trying to give him this redemption arc. The writers are like, no, he ain't shit, and he's gonna continue to not be shit. And so Leonard goes home, and he keeps having flashbacks of him murdering the reporter, and then he ends up vomiting, and like he feels all this guilt for killing the reporter. But is it guilt for killing the reporter, or is it guilt because you know you fucked up because you left your cane at that man's house and you don't want to get caught? I don't know. I doubt it's empathy. So the next morning, Leonard is cooking breakfast for Nandi and Z, and Nandi notices that he's not using his walking stick. Now, mind you, he ain't using his walking stick because he ain't got it, because it's a murder weapon that he left at the scene of the crime. So Leonard is like, oh no, I'm doing much better. I feel like I really don't need it. Like things are really kind of getting back to normal. And so as they're sitting down eating, Leonard just keeps having flashbacks. And, you know, Nandi and Z kind of see that he's in and out of it. And they ask him, you know, is everything okay? And he says, you know, I'm just so overwhelmed with emotion, and this is just so beautiful to me. And even though this amnesia is a mess, this is what I want. He holds to both their hands. He's like, this is what I want. I want my family back, and this is what means the most to me. Baby, I can't wait for Nani to learn that he faking that damn amnesia and he ain't got it. Because she seems to be like starting to come around to this idea. Maybe we can start anew. Maybe we can start fresh. His bitch ass remember everything he done did. Hoe ass. So over at Precious and Jacob's apartment complex situation, Jacob is painting Precious, and he tells her how beautiful she is and how much he sees the beauty in her. And Precious talks about this is so kind of new to her because her father was abusive and her father always wanted a son, and it just feels weird to have somebody actually see her for who she is. And so then we get a flashback of Ivy, Precious's mom, confronting the minister about the death of her husband. You know, she's upset. She's like, oh, how could you have done this to him? Like, I know you did this to my husband. And so the minister is like, you know, you don't know everything. You need to get out of my house, because Ivy is threatening to like go to the authorities and kind of like blow the lid. And she's like, I know what's going on between you two. Like, I will shake this shit up in here. And so the minister is like, you better get your ass up out my house before, you know, you won't be able to leave, type shit, right? And so Ivy is like, that's fine, I will leave. And she's like, Precious, let's go. And Precious is like, no, I'm not going with you. You don't know the whole story. Like, this isn't like what you think it is. Like, the minister, he did the right thing. And Ivy is just like shocked. And she's like, Precious, are you serious? And Precious is like, no, I'm staying here. And so Precious kind of presents it to Jacob like her mom abandoned her, when in actuality her mama did not abandon her. Precious just chose the minister over her family. So while, you know, Precious and Jacob are having this moment, the minister shows up, child, at Precious' apartment. And so he's banging on the door. She's not answering because she's over at Jacob's place. And so the minister ends up calling her. And he hears her phone ringing. Now, there's some things I'm gonna call cap in this episode, like the fact that he could hear her phone ringing, and he's like, her and Jacob's apartment, like they're next door, but it's like her apartment is here, and then you gotta walk down a little ways to get to Jacob's apartment. And if these are supposed to be like high luxury apartments, they ain't got no thin walls. They just don't. So I highly doubt that he actually would have heard her phone in Jacob's apartment. But for the sake of the show, we're going to go with it. So the minister hears her phone ring and he goes over to Jacob's apartment. This mother, he just walks straight into Jacob's apartment. He don't knock on no door, nothing. He just busts on in the door. And so as he walks in, Precious had already made it to her phone. So she was getting ready to, like, I don't know, decline the call, answer it, I don't know. But either way, she had the phone in her hand. The minister walks in. He's like, what the hell is going on? What are you doing here? And Precious is like, I'm over here just visiting my friend, because she has like a robe on. And the minister is like, your friend, who is this friend? And Precious is like, friend is an artist, you know, and she wanted to do a drawing of me. And so the minister really ain't buying it. So he like storms upstairs. He's like, well, I want to meet this friend. And so Jacob smartly goes into the bathroom, and the minister is like, well, where is she? And Precious is like, well, she went into the bathroom, like she is getting dressed. And so Jacob kind of hears that, so he cuts the shower on. The minister was still going to go into the bathroom. I hate this man. And so Precious basically had to say, like, don't barge in on her. Like, this is going to be so bad. Like, you're about to be the deputy president. Do you really want it to come out that you barged in on this woman who's naked? Like, we don't need this type of drama. And so the minister was like, He really wasn't buying it with them big ass boots he had on, pissed me off. He wasn't really buying it, but they went downstairs and the minister shows Precious the manuscript. And so Precious is like, what the hell is this? And he's like, you know, this is what Yusuf was working on, and Leonard has brought this to me, and you know, things are really like, we need to be able to like nip this shit in the bud. And so Precious asked, you know, well, is Ivy in the manuscript? And the minister said, no, she's not in the manuscript, but we need to clean this mess up. Minister, you know, after that, he was like, you know, and I don't know what is going on here, but you better not be fucking this neighbor. And he like kind of starts acting a little jealous. And so Precious ends up slapping him, and she's like, you don't talk to me like that. And he's like, Precious, she was like, no, it's mistress, and you're gonna pay for that. So she instantly goes into her dominatrix role. And it seems that at this point, maybe the whole dominatrix thing has been a way for her to maintain some sense of balance when it comes to her relationship with the minister. And then also it's a way that she can keep herself safe, it seems. So it works. He kind of goes into like submissive role, and then we cut to the next scene. We see that Voyo goes to Yusuf's house, and while he walks in, we see that there's a security camera, and I'm like, oh shit, proof that Leonard was there. And so Voyo goes, and you know, he's knocking on the door. Obviously nobody comes to the door, so he walks into Yusuf's apartment, and he sees his dead body. And so he's like, oh shit, the manuscript. So he goes to look for the manuscript, and while he's searching for it, Precious and the bodyguard, I don't know his name, they show up. No, they're there to clean up the mess. And so luckily Voyo is able to kind of sneak out of a side door because they go to investigate a noise. And so that gives him time to leave out. So Voyo goes to the car and he calls Jacob and he lets Jacob know that Yusuf has been killed and that Precious and the bodyguard, you know, came to clean up the mess. So now Jacob knows the manuscript is gone. Yusuf has been killed. So this just kind of puts them even further back and him being able to get justice for his father and get his father's name cleared. So he's pissed. And so Jacob goes to the minister's house, which is crazy. And so he shows up to the minister's house and he pretends to be like I don't know if he's supposed to be like a minister or like a pastor or something, but he says his name is Peter and he's there to find out more about the foundation that they've created in their daughter's name, because he wants to be able to help and kind of volunteer and support the foundation. So in the next scene, we're at Laura's house and Laura's parents are in town. And so they're having dinner with Z, and Laura lets her parents know that her and Z are now dating. And the mom is like, oh, okay, that's cute. And so I'm thinking like, ooh, is she like homophobic? Is it because, you know, they're like a lesbian couple? And that's not it at all. Laura's mom is a little apprehensive because, number one, of how she feels Z has used Laura throughout their friendship. She pretty much feels like Z has not been a good friend to Laura, which could be true. And then also the mom brings up, you know, that Nandi stabbed Leonard. She brought that up at the table. She's like, you know, and then also, you know, the things that are going on in the news, and we're happy that, you know, your family is working it out, you know, after your mom stabbed your dad. Girl, Decorum, a little couth. Like, why would you bring that up? And so Laura is pissed off and she's like, what, mom, why would you bring that up? And Z is like, no, it's okay. And Laura's like, no, actually, it's not okay. Laura and her mom are in the kitchen talking. They half-ass closed the door. So I'm like, I guess Z is going to overhear this conversation. And so Laura's like, you know, what is that about? And her mom basically says, you know, this girl has not been a good friend to you. And I don't know how much you should trust her. Like, she's kind of a hot mess and her family has all this drama and all over the place. And do we really want to get, you know, involved in all this mess? And then the mama says, and let's not act like she didn't sleep with her mama boyfriend. Child, now Laura done told all the business. And so Laura like tries to leave out of the kitchen because she's done with the conversation. She runs into Z and Z is like, I cannot believe you told your mama that. And so Z storms out of Laura's apartment. Laura follows her and Z is like, I trusted you. You were my confidant. I told you that in faith that you wouldn't tell anybody else. And you told your mom my business. And Laura's like, well, my mom isn't wrong. Oh. And she basically was like, you know, you kind of have taken advantage of me in this friendship and in our relationship. And you did leave me and you went to Japan and you didn't really consider anybody else. And that is an issue. And Z is like, okay, that's fine. Well, I feel like we need to take a break then. And Laura's like, well, yeah, I guess we do need to take a break. And so Z leaves and Laura is all upset. You know, Laura's mom was kind of raggedy for how she brought it up. And I feel like maybe she had these concerns. She should have brought it up later after Z left, or maybe called Laura. But then on the other hand, she's not wrong. And if we remember season 1, Z kind of was a trash friend to Laura. Like whenever they would be around each other and Jacob, you know, was acting like he was Pokey Boy and was sending her messages, she would just be ignoring Laura. She was canceling plans on Laura. She was ghosting Laura, just all kinds of shit in order to get the affection of this boy that she didn't even know. And even when she got to know Jacob, she was shading Laura then because Laura was the only one talking any damn sense. So Laura's mom is not wrong. Just her delivery and her timing was trash, is all I'm saying. Back at the minister's house, Jacob is talking to the minister's wife and he brings up how, you know, the reporter, because obviously it made the news, how the reporter, Yusuf, interrupted the fundraiser and, you know, and how does she feel about that? And she basically says that she's tired of reporters bringing that stuff up, and she's tired of the reporters trying to paint Benjamin Jeeba as this innocent victim because he was a monster. And of course, that pisses Jacob off. So he kind of gets this look of anger in his eyes, but he's able to play it off, and he's like, no, I understand how that could really make you upset. Why don't I get you some tea? And so he goes to fix him some tea. He drops some drugs, maybe some sleeping pills maybe or something, into the minister's wife's cup. She drinks the tea, and our girl passes out. So Jacob goes into the minister's office, and he's trying to find the manuscript. And he can't find the manuscript, but he does come across this lease agreement. And so he takes the lease agreement, and while he's in the office, the minister's wives wake up. Peter, where are you? And I'm like, if I just woke up like that, I would be hella alarmed, because why did I all of a sudden just kind of pass out, and this man that I don't know is nowhere to be found? And so Jacob comes out of the minister's office. He's like, oh my gosh, this house is so big. I was looking for the restroom. Pause. Because why are you looking for the restroom, but you closed the door to the study, to the office? She didn't question that. She was just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I fell asleep on you. I guess I'm more tired than I thought. You know, maybe we should just call it a night, you know, and I'll be in touch. Thank you for coming by. But I think I need to go ahead and just get some rest. And he's like, oh, okay, no problem. Girl, he could have been a damn serial killer. You just all willy-nilly, just like, it's okay that I passed out, just happenstance by this mystery man is in my house. All right, not too bright, is she? Jacob goes back to Precious's apartment, and she apologizes for the minister, you know, busting into his apartment earlier. And Jacob's like, no, it's okay. Like, I understand there has to be a lot of pressure, you know, being the minister's assistant. And, you know, I get this is probably hard on you, and don't worry, I'm not going nowhere. I just want to give you a normal life where you don't have to worry about none of this shit, and it can just be me and you. We ain't got to worry about nobody busting in on us. Like, that's what I'm trying to give you. And Precious is like, normal? Like, that is impossible. Like, I'm never going to have a normal life. And Jacob is like, no, I don't want you to feel that way. I want you to have faith in us. Like, trust me, like, everything is going to be okay. And then, so of course, they start having the sexuals again, and as per usual, 10 out of 10. I know, y'all, don't judge me. I think they're a hot couple. You know what I'm saying? And and so while they're getting it on, we see that the minister is in an apartment complex across the way, watching Precious and Jacob have sex. And so while I thought this was funny. So while Jacob is slanging that thing, he turns and he makes direct eye contact with the minister. Only thing missing was Jacob pointing while he was pumping. Pointing and pumping. Pointing and pumping.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That would have been perfect. And so the minister is like, what the fuck? Because apparently the lease agreement that Jacob saw was the lease agreement for that particular building. And I guess he was able to put two and two together of, well, I guess it would have made sense, because if he knows, if he's staying in apartment number, I don't know, 618, that's 6 floors up, then he can assume that, you know, so it made sense that he was able to figure that out. So now the minister knows that Jacob knows that he's watching them, and Jacob don't give a fuck. So I don't know how this is going to play into Jacob's plan, but he told Voyle that he had a plan, and I guess this was his plan. So it seems that he's going to try to cause a little dissension between Precious and the minister. But also, I forgot that Jacob really don't like Precious like that for real, and he's just using her. So it doesn't seem that he cares that this could probably put her in danger. He don't give a shit. But I thought that was funny as hell. And episode 7 was good. Episode 7 was good. Even the part with Z and Laura, because even though I feel like Z and Laura's storyline is a throwaway storyline for me, I did feel like it was good to see Laura's family and actually see how the people that love Laura, to see how they feel about her and Z's relationship. Because her relationship with Z has, in my opinion, been really one-sided. So to see Laura's family, especially her mom, call out Z's selfishness, I kind of liked it. I feel like Z is a very annoying character and she does really stupid shit. And she just was not a good friend to Laura. So the fact that Laura is now like wanting to date her, not a fan of it. But overall, this was a good episode. So let's go ahead and get into episode 8, The Deputy President. Episode 8 opens up with a flashback. I was surprised episode 7 didn't open up with a flashback because y'all know they love a flashback. But episode 8 did not let us down. It opened with a flashback and we see Ivy, Precious's mom, is on the balcony at the minister's estate cleaning. And as she looks outward, she sees the minister coming out of some little area, I don't know if it's like another house, like a pool house, I don't know, but he's coming out of somewhere, fixing his clothes, and then shortly after, Precious is coming out after him, fixing her clothes. So of course, Ivy is shocked, she's distraught, she's upset, and so she calls her husband. Her husband is pissed, and so now I'm wondering, did he kill the minister's daughter, rape and kill the minister's daughter as retaliation? If that's what he did, that is crazy. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I ain't got that far yet, but we'll see. So we're back with Voyo, and Voyo is going through some of Yusuf's things, and he comes across his call log, and he sees several calls to Ivy. And so Voyo calls Ivy, and Ivy is like, Yusuf, I told you don't call me no more. Like, I want to have nothing to do with this. And so Voyo is like, hey, this isn't Yusuf. This is Yusuf's partner, and I've been working with him on the Benjamin Jiba case, and I just wanted to call you. And then she hangs up on him. She don't want to have nothing to do with it. Come to find out, Ivy was supposed to had testified on Benjamin Jiba's behalf, but she never showed up. And so Voyo calls Jacob and lets Jacob know that Ivy is Precious's mother, and also Ivy is the wife of the driver. So now Jacob knows that Precious is the daughter of the man who probably killed the little girl. So now it's just even more layers, because it was bad enough that Precious was working with the minister. But now that he knows she's the daughter of the man that seemingly got off scot-free, as far as he knows, for the murder of a child that his father died proclaiming his innocence for. Bananas. Insane. So in the next scene, we're back with Leonard and Nandi. And so Leonard is in the shower and he's crying because he keeps getting flashbacks of him killing the reporter. And so he's upset. He's crying in the shower. Nandi comes in and she asks him, is everything okay? Like, do you need something? What's going on? And Leonard says, I just can't sleep. Like, I just keep having these flashbacks, and there was just so much blood. There was so much blood. And Nandi is like, what are you talking about? And then Leonard, bitch ass, says it was Z. Z stabbed me.
Here we go. Here the fuck we go. Here the fuck we go.
Mind you, he's aware of this. He's aware of this. He doesn't have amnesia. And so again, to try to absolve himself and not have to tell the truth about what he did, now he's about to put all this shit back on Z. And this whole, because she did stab him, right? But the fact that that's not really why he's crying, but he's lying about it and is about to put all this guilt on Z, pisses me off. He's just trash. He's just the absolute worst. And so him and Nandi go into the bedroom. He comes out the shower and she says, Z was afraid. She thought you were an intruder. She stabbed you. She thought she was protecting me. Like, we cannot let her know that this. Like, this will break her. This will kill her. And so Leonard is like, no, I'm not gonna say anything to her about it. Like, I understand it was an accident. Yada, 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 all this shit. Why even bring it up? Fuck boy. Why even bring it up? Like, I get it. Like, there's a part of it where, because he was stabbed and he was put in a coma, maybe he didn't know all of the ins and outs of why Z stabbed him, because that's the last thing he saw, and I get that. So I understand Nandi having to explain that to him, but my thing is, you're lying about why you're in so much distress and why you can't sleep. It's because of your own guilt, not because you know that your daughter stabbed you, because it wouldn't have been intentional with her. You know what I mean? Raggedy. bald head, ashy ass audacity. That's his name. Nandi is out for a jog, and while she's finishing up her jog, she runs into the minister. He's waiting for her at the end of the pathway, and so she gets into the car with the minister, and the minister shows her the photos of Precious and Jacob having sex, and he's like, so what do you know about this? And Nandi is like, what I know about what? This nigga dicking down your assistant? I don't know shit about that. And so the minister is like, I just can't imagine that this is a coincidence that, you know, this boy that you were with is now fucking my assistant. And Nandi is like, I don't know nothing about that. I haven't even talked to Jacob. And so the minister pulls out Nandi's call log, and it shows that, y'all remember when Jacob called her once she got out. And so he's like, well, what is this? Because this unknown number has been traced back to, you know, Jacob's house. And so why are you lying to me? And so Nandi explains, you know, what happened and why that would be on her call log. And she swears, you know, she's like, I swear on my life, like, I'm not talking to him. And the minister is like, swear on your daughter's life, because that's what's at stake. I said, well, damn. They're going to keep throwing that up in their face, huh? They're going to keep threatening Z, I guess. So Nandi ends up calling Jacob to meet up. And so when they meet up, start kissing and making out and all this stuff. And I'm like, let's not do this. Like, he is a daughter fucker. Like, I just really want Nandi to keep that at the forefront of her mind. And so she stops everything. Like, they don't go any further than just kissing. Nandi says, you know, I saw the pictures of you and Precious having sex. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what are you into? And Jacob talks about how he's using Precious to get justice for his father and to be able to finally get the minister. And he's not really like into her like that. He doesn't love her. He wants to be with Nandi. And Nandi is like, Jacob, like, this is dangerous. Like, he's already put Z in the hospital. Like, this is not a game. Like, you need to stop this stuff. Like, this is coming back on me. How? She's like, again, you're putting my family in danger. And so Jacob apologizes. It's like, Nandi, I love you. I know you love me too. And Nandi doesn't really like deny it, but I'm also like, girl, you need to bring up the fact that you could never be with him because he slept with your daughter. And Jacob tells Nandi, okay, well, I'll stop all of this if we can be together.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And he presents her with this necklace or whatever. Like, what the fuck? So Nandi's like, Jacob, we cannot be together. Like, I'm not going to be with you. And so Jacob gets upset. He's like, so you're going to choose Leonard over me again, even though he's still playing you? And Nandi's like, what the hell are you talking about? And Jacob said, he don't even have amnesia for real. Like, he is playing you. He remembers everything that happened. And I'm like, when did Jacob find this out? I couldn't remember. Y'all can tell me in the comments. Did Voyo tell him that? Like, I didn't feel like going back to look. I'm like, I know Yusuf was highly doubting the fact that Leonard had amnesia. So maybe that's where Jacob got it from. Yusuf maybe having his doubts and telling Jacob about it. But I don't remember Jacob knowing that. So Nandi is shook, obviously. But I wonder if she's also questioning it because she don't really completely trust Jacob, which is fair. Like, he's fucking crazy. He fine, but he crazy. And so the next scene, the minister goes to Clint's house. And I'm like, here we go. The minister Clint connection that I've been waiting for. And so come to find out, Clint was not originally working for the minister. Like, everything was legit up into the car crash. And so the minister saw the footage of Clint leaving the scene of the crime. And so he had approached Clint that night and said, you know, you just committed a crime. You know, you're driving under the influence. You left the scene of an accident, attempted murder, all these different charges. He was like, you could really go down. So I can either bring these charges against you because I'm a very powerful man, or you can start doing some work for me and we can let this all go. And so Clint basically agreed to work with the minister, and his task has been to get close to Z and never let her out of his sight. And so the minister, when he goes to Clint's place, Z is not there. He's like, what is going on? I thought I told you that you need to keep this girl in your sight at all times. Why is that not happening? And Clint says, you know, I've been trying. You know, I asked her to come over here because earlier Z had called him. And And he asked her to come over, and she said no, she couldn't come over because she didn't want to do that to Laura. And so the minister is like, I want to hear no excuses. You need to make this happen or you're going to go to jail. I told you I ain't trust that Clint. Just goes to the sex club to meet the minister. And so the minister shows her the photos of Jacob, and he's like, he takes like a little horse whip, you know, that people use, and he like hits her with it. He's like, what the fuck is this? He's like, it's nothing. It's not what you think. And so the minister was like, well, what do you mean it's not what I think? It looks like you're fucking your big breasted neighbor, you know, because she said it was a woman. And so Precious, you know, it's not really saying a whole lot. And the minister is like, you need to speak up. Like, what does this boy have that I don't? And I was like, a lot. He has a lot that you don't. Have you seen you and have you seen him? That's what I was thinking. That ain't what Precious said, but that's what I was thinking. And Precious said, he gives me normal. He gives me normal. And so the minister is like, what does that even mean? So Precious doesn't really answer per se. And so the minister said, well, while he gives you normal, do you know he's been basically working with Voyo and Yusuf? Precious says, you know, that's not true. You know, that can't be. Maybe it's not what you think it is. And the minister is like, little girl, don't play with me. He was like, you are mine and you need to prove to me that you are mine. So I want you to kill Jacob and prove that I can trust you. And if you don't kill him, then you know what? I don't have no more use for you. I said, oh. Ooh, okay. So this is about to be a sticky situation. So the end of the episode, Precious goes back to Jacob's place. When she goes in, she pulls a gun on him. And Jacob's like, what the hell is going on? And Precious is like, you tell me. You know, what you got going on with Yusuf and Voyo? Like, you've been basically playing me this whole time. Precious ends up like hitting him upside the head, knocking him out. And I'm like, okay, she still got feelings for Jacob. So maybe she's going to try to set it up to make it look like she killed him. So the last scene of the episode, Precious and the bodyguard are out in the country or something, and they're digging a hole. They have a body wrapped up. We don't see the body. We don't actually see what happens to Jacob. Season 1, we thought he was dead and then he got resurrected, right? So we don't know who that body is. I think the body is Yusuf, myself, but who knows? And so while they're out there getting ready to put this body in the hole, the minister rolls up with I think he has like an axe or a machete or something. And he was like, I want this body to be unrecognizable. I want you to cut off the head and the hands. And that's where the episode ends. So listen, here's where I'm at with it. At first I was like, well, maybe they're faking it. Maybe Jacob is just knocked out. She's going to have him put in this hole. She's going to come back later, dig him up, make him go ghost or whatever. I don't know what's gonna happen, y'all. I haven't even watched the last 2 episodes, so I'm kind of curious as to how Precious is gonna get out of this. I highly doubt Jacob is dead. I just refuse that. I can tell by the way she be moaning and groaning and how Nandy is fantasizing about Jacob. That dick is too good. She's not gonna kill him.
Wait a minute.
And she hates the minister. Let's be for real. She hates this nigga. He reminds her of her father. He's been molesting her and abusing her since she was 16. He has her in this fucked up ass S&M relationship, which she does not like. It's clear she does not like this shit and she just wants to be away from him. So I'm curious to see how this will work. And I low-key feel like the bodyguard might be in cahoots with her. I'm not sure. And I'm also curious as to how Nandi is going to approach this whole thing with Leonard and his amnesia. And does she trust Voyo enough to go to Voyo and say, this nigga don't got amnesia. He is just fine. Because, you know, her and Voyo are like going at it now. I'm excited for these last 2 episodes. I haven't watched them yet, y'all. So don't give me no spoilers in the comments. Just let me know your thoughts on episodes 7 and 8. Let me know some of your predictions. If you already seen the finale, don't give me no predictions. Because then you just lying. This ain't a prediction. You just giving me spoilers. You already know what's going to happen. But if you haven't watched it, let me know what you thought about these 2 episodes. And as always, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to see y'all next week, I promise, for part 4, the finale of Fatal Seduction Season 2. Bye.